Hi, it's Kim. I hope you caught part one of the video of my plant tour in fall 2019. We're going to try and do the living room, a couple of bedrooms, and a bathroom. So join me, and thanks for watching.
Okay, we're going to resume the plant tour, and this time get the plants that are in the upstairs living room and the bedrooms. Now, it's early, but my daughter likes to get her Christmas decorations started after Halloween, so we've got a few early Christmas decorations up. Now right here, I have another golden pothos, of course. Of course, I've got this planted in glass. I like glass for things that I may set on an object that I really don't want to have any drainage. But this is done real well. It's grown a whole lot. When I plant it in glass, I can see when it needs watering. I can see the roots, see their health and condition. I don't know how well this is going to show, but you can see that. And over here, I made sure I could get the names right this time. This is the Aglaonemus, and I had that last spring in my last video, and it has grown a whole lot. I really love this plant. It's no trouble, it's easy, nothing to do with it but sit back and watch it grow. I have had blooms on it. The blooms were really, really pretty. Now we've added lamps here, so I have a lot of extra light in addition to the light coming from the windows. But this one has worked out right. A Chinese evergreen is another name for this. Let me get another angle so you can see how big it is. But it has gotten really nice and big. And then of course my ZZ plants. This one has grown not as much as I thought it would, but it's grown a pretty decent amount. Hopefully it will really take off this spring. I won't even try to pronounce the actual wording of the plant's name. There's another one over on that end too. Underneath the ZZ plant, I have the peperomia. I've got two peperomia, the regular and then the variegated form. And they have not grown very much. They have lost a lot of leaves. I'm not sure if I'm treating them exactly like they need to be treated, but they have grown a little bit larger around, just not much in height. And of course, another pothos. I have the golden pothos all over the place. And I can't remember if last spring I had that in the same container. I don't know. I change them out so often, it's hard to remember. And then this is the big assorted planter that we bought last spring in a plant haul. It's still done pretty well. It kind of hurt it bringing it inside after being outside all year, but surprisingly it still kept its leaves and most of its color. It has the Wandering Jew, it has some ferns in there, it has the bridal veil. I'm not sure if you can see that little strand of bridal veil. It kind of fades after it's not blooming as much inside. You don't see it as well. And of course, a lot of spider plants. Now probably the best look on it is on the other side that faces the window, but I can't get behind there to show it. Look at those spots there hugging the windowsill. This one is a very large plant. Looks a little bit smaller inside, but I think it's going to be for many, many starts later on. Okay, and of course, the other ZZ plant. Growing real well. We've gotten new growth on it. In fact, there just came up a new stalk here. You can see that. Let me get to the side. Yeah, new growth there. Great big new stalk in the center. That one kind of is a companion to the one down here. That one is the smaller of the two. Okay, and then my Syngonium, I have that on the floor right now. I'm not sure where I had that last spring. It's the Cream Illusion arrowhead. I have it planted in what's supposed to be a terrarium, but I like a lot of plants in glass so that I can see the roots. And of course the big jade plant, the one that I've trimmed and taken a lot of growth off. I had so many cuttings of jade plant that I didn't know what to do with, but I have had a lot of extra new growth on that. I may be able to insert a picture of it when I first changed it over, so you can see how much new growth I have. But all the little spots where I cut have created new branches. It may need another trim in early spring. He is a pretty large one. Hope you can see that. Okay, and then on the edge is the Swedish ivy. I just brought in cuttings in water. They're in water, taking root. They bloomed. They've just been perfect. They have huge leaves. Huge leaves and flowers. That's what one of the flower stems looks like. Blooms little orchid-like things all the way down through there. And then when they all drop off, I just cut off that little stem. So you can see I've got the roots kind of anchored by some rocks, some stone, so that they don't fall out, because some of these are big, top-heavy ones. And then I have a fern inside this little jar. He's going to get transplanted because poor little thing is way outgrowing this. It worked fine. I had it in a hanging planter, I think, out on the screen porch. And you could just see the bottom, see when it needed water, pour it full when it needed it. It worked perfect. But I want to transplant her into something else. But basically, that rounds out the living room end of my plants. Yep, it's Christmas here. One of our decorations to make things look good in here. Oh, yeah, and there is a teenager that lives here, of course. Okay, and now we're going to check the bedroom. Now upstairs in my daughter's bedroom, on her computer desk, she has a couple of the plants that we've done. This one is the African milk tree. Here, let me get to the side. The African milk tree, which has grown quite a bit. It's at least doubled or tripled in size since the springtime. Got a lot of leaves, and the leaves are pretty big. You can see how nice that's done. This one is a Euphorbia trigona, if I'm saying that correctly. It kind of has a little maroon look to its ribs and the back side of its leaves. So it's real pretty. Sorry we're against the morning light. It's a pretty bleak looking day out there, being winter time and everything. I don't know if it would show up better if I put down the window blinds. Let me just get a little bit upwards of it. I think you can see it there. I don't want to mess up everything in the bedroom by putting the blinds down, so. This one has like little thorns to the side. You're probably more familiar with that than I am. This is one that she just fell in love with. She just loved that one. And then another one that she liked a lot was the Mother of Thousands. That one, I'm going to do a whole separate video about that because that one has been a trial. Right now she's just got a lot of the little babies that collected down into this pot. You can see them. Now, the Mother of Thousands, Mother of Millions, it's a Kalanchoe Degremontiana or a Bryophyllum, depending on which you go by. I guess it has several different names. That's kind of a, pretty big round pot there. But the others are in the basement, and I'm going to do a separate video on those because, like I said, that was one she was in love with. We got it, but now she's not so in love with that plant any longer. But now we'll check her bathroom. Okay, here in the bathroom is the Philodendron Brazil. It has grown hugely since she put it up here. It's still keeping all of its color, and its variegation looks wonderful. She just keeps it here on the edge. Window over here that lets in a lot of light. Let me get that angle. You can see where a lot of light comes through to this one. But I think it's done real well. We previously had it sitting on that side, but moved it to this side. But that one has turned out to be a really nice plant. In fact, we've done some cuttings, and I still plan to do more. Like I need more plants. Now here in my bedroom, I've got the window that also faces east. So I've chosen to add a lot of hangers in here. Is this going to show? Yeah, I put the small curtain rod there with extra support, and then I have these hanging from hooks. Now on the table is the bottle terrarium. That has gone gangbusters. Let me move this. And then I have a sticky trap to catch an occasional gnat if it shows up. So I got some dirt on the edge of that. But this has been in here for a couple months. So in this room, I'm not really having any gnat problem. That's in this room. Okay, but that's my heart fern in there. And then the, I think this one was the club moss inside a open container. But that has done real well. You can see the growth of the plant. It's trying to get tall enough to come out to the top. So don't ask me what you do when they get that big. I'll deal with that next time that thought comes around. But then up here is my flowering maple. That was one of my cuttings. It's growing lots of leaves Doing real well. I can keep checking on the roots. I'm sure you can see those roots this time. They look real obvious. But they're doing real well. Up there, Wandering Jew. And then in the next planter down, I have those cuttings of the Pilia glauca. They're doing real well in there. Try to hold this still. And then down below is the Peperomia Costa Rica cuttings. And they are growing and continuing to branch. So I hope I have a real full one in there soon. And then here I have Swedish ivy. That's a cutting. I think that's one of the ones I showed in my cutting video. It's growing real well in the sun. And then I've gone back and forth. I have one empty slot here. And I am not sure what I want to put in there. I have some cuttings of the, what one was it? I have a cutting of one downstairs that I may bring up here. Still not sure about that one. But basically, that's what's in my bedroom. And that's the only light source. I don't have a window in the bathroom, so nothing from my bathroom, just these things here. But that'll do it for the bedroom. Okay, I'm going to get these videos out. I got to get to editing. Here's the station, 2 monitors to help me visualize. And at my age, I need the giant letter keyboard. So I'll get to this and get it out just as soon as possible. Thanks for joining me today, and see you for part 3. We haven't even gone to the basement.